We back. Welcome back to the Forbes and Red locker room talk. It's your boy, the one and only Forbes. You know, I got my boy Red in the cut with me.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We back. First and foremost, you know, we've been gone so long. We've just been busy. But we back. We're officially back here in the new year. Started the summer too. You know, we here early. You know, we're gonna be back giving y'all exclusive content. You know, and we officially back. But the first thing we're gonna talk about is this playoff bubble, this playoff picture that's coming up May 18th. It's a lot of shockers, Red. You dig? You know, as you know, my boys, we in a 7th spot on Celtics, man. Shout out to my Celtics, man. We having a struggle year, terrible year, in my opinion. You know, we in the 7th spot, so we in a play-in tournament right now. And, you know, also another shocker with the Lakers. Obviously, the injury bug hit them real hard in the middle of the season. And then, you know, the emerging Golden State coming back, you know, battling back from being at the bottom. But like we said in the pre-show, you know, the two teams that, you know, just turned around is that background you got right there, Atlanta Hawks and New York Knicks, man.
Yeah. For those who don't know, this play-in tournament for reals. Why do the NBA need a play-in tournament? I get it. Like we have like 30. We got like what 30 teams in the NBA.
Yep.
30 teams in the NBA, and we only need like 1 through 10 from each division.
Hey.
That's just the insult to the teams that go through the 1 through 8 spot. This is a very, very insult. I get what they did last year because it was the bubble, but it didn't even seem like a playing tournament last year in the bubble. It was just like this team tied for 8, this team tied for this. In that case, they should let the Suns get in last year.
Possibility, but that's
but the season flip flopped, and now the Suns in a better place. So we're not even gonna talk about that.
That
was last year. But the play-in tournament, for those who don't know, it starts May 18th through the 21st. And after that, you know, the playoffs are officially back. So how it goes is the 9th place team will play the 10th place team. The winner of that goes on to play the 8th seed. And the 7th place team and the 8th place team play against each other.
Yep.
And the winner of that, the 7th place team plays the 2nd seed. And the 8th place team, well, whoever loses between the 7 and 8 goes on to play the winner of the 9th and 10th, which categorized, meaning the winner and the loser of that game gets to be the 8th seed in the tournament.
Yes, sir.
Let me clarify it again so it can be specific.
Clarify, dog. Clear it up.
The 9th and the 10th place team plays against each other. The winner of that will advance to the next round of the play-in tournament against the loser of the 7th and the 8th seed. Now, the winner of the 7th and the 8th seed takes that 7th spot.
Mm-hmm.
And the loser of the 9th and 10th place seed, well, they don't get to play again. They out. So the winner of the 9th and 10th seed plays the loser of the 7th and 8th. And between those teams, whoever wins gets that 8th seed. So that's basically how it's broken down. So if we were to look at the current standings today in the playoffs,
right?
Oh, this is a trip. If we were to look at the current standings today, starting today, the 9th and the 10th team in the West will be Memphis and San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
And the winner of that gets to play the loser of the 7th and 8th seed, which is the Lakers and Golden State Warriors, which will be a nice game. That's a nice game. And the winner of that gets to be the 7th seed, and then gets to play my boys, the Arizona boys, the Arizona Blazers,
yes, sir.
Phoenix Suns. But in the East, you got the 9th and the 10th seed, which is right now the Indiana Pacers and the Washington Wizards. And in the 7 and 8, ooh, you're going to hate this. I know you're going to hate this.
Don't bring it up.
You know who's in the 7th seed. Boston is in the 7th seed. And Charlotte's in the 8th seed. And the winner of that gets to play Brooklyn. So it's y'all better off getting the 8th seed instead of the 7th seed. It's whatever.
Well,
But let's talk about this play-in tournament. So if we were to start today, who would you pick to be the 8th seed, and who would you pick to be the 7th seed for the West?
Well, first and foremost, you got guys that's potentially coming back, obviously, for the Lakers. They've been banged up all towards the middle of the season after All-Star break. They've been banged up ever since All-Star break. You know, AD, we don't know if he's 100%. Yeah, he's out there on the court right now. Giving his all. He got hurt
down last night, though. Sat down.
Yeah, he sat out
but then the shoulder's coming back. Their shoulder came back.
Yeah, you know, D Shrew came back, but in general, that team just been banged up. You know, Trail ain't been playing like that. Gasol ain't been playing like that. You know, guys just trying to get some rest. But then you got Golden State. Obviously, we know what Golden State is capable of. You know, they still missing other splash brother, Klay Thompson, and other key pieces. But, you know, Steph Curry's been on rampage since All-Star break. You know, he cut the hair. You know, he cut the hair. Now he looked like the old Steph Curry, like that won MVP unanimously. And ever since then, he's been on the tear, making God knows how many threes he's making. Like he's the all-time leading scorer of Golden State history, which is mind-blowing right now. And he's still playing. You know, usually guys break that record and they done, but he's still playing. But the winner, who I believe I will pick Golden State only because we don't know the mind state of AD and LeBron and the health-wise, because we don't know how healthy come May 18th, which is that's next.
That's actually the start date of the play.
That's the play-in tournament was next Tuesday?
Yep, 18th.
Next Tuesday, the play-in tournament. You know, we don't know how healthy LeBron would be or AD with how good these guys would be, because Golden State, they still on a rampage. They obviously a couple nights ago they just beat Utah. Steph Curry, the game winner. You know, and you know Golden State, they're just high. You know, Draymond Green said it. You know, they got Steph Curry on the team, and you know, as long as he's still out there playing, giving him the all, averaging 30 plus. You know, they winning games. You know, and I got them winning to get that 7th spot to play against your Phoenix, Arizona boys. You know, and that's speaking of Phoenix. You know, shout out to Chris Paul and Monty Williams. You know, that coaching staff and Chris Paul effect, as they say.
Don't forget about Devin Booker.
DeAndre
Ayton. Don't sleep on the bench team.
You know, but Chris Paul makes them better all the way around. Even though Devin Booker and Ayton was already better, but Chris Paul.
That veteran leadership. Chris Paul, every team that he's been on has gone to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And like their record, the record is improved like percentage wise. And with Phoenix, you know, you mean to tell me they was already hot coming into the season anyway. Obviously, they went undefeated last year in the bubble, as you mentioned earlier. Without Chris Paul. Chris Paul wasn't even there. He was an OKC, and he almost beat Houston without the OKC team. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But he go to Phoenix. They're the number 2 team in the West. Now everybody had them like being like top 5. I did too. They was in my top 5. I wasn't expecting them to be 1 or 2. You know, but shout out, like I said, Devin Booker. We know Devin Booker gonna hoop. He's one of the top lead scorers in the league. One of the best scorers in the league. Shooting guards in the league. Ayton, he's still young. He's coming to his way in the league. Potentially could be one of the best big men in the league as years progress, as long as he stay healthy and develop his game every year. You know, and Monty Williams, you know, we both know Monty Williams, you know, his coaching staff, you know, his coaching ability that he has. So I would love to see that matchup, Phoenix versus Golden State. That's what I think what will happen. Just based off the health wise. That's what I think.
You know, if AD or LeBron don't come back for the first round of playoff for the play-in, Golden State and Phoenix might take that 7th seed. Now, I could see the Lakers being the 8th seed and LeBron and AD coming back playing against the Utah Jazz. Now that's gonna be a headbanger right there. If the defending champs knock off the number 1 seed, that would be a nice game. But we'll have to see. I don't want to see I don't want to count the Lakers out too early, because Playoff LeBron is different than regular season Bron. And Bron hasn't been playing these last few games in a while. So it'll be interesting to see how this team does and to try to repeat this year. But as we're looking for the 9th and the 10th seed, I got Memphis beating San Antonio. There's no disrespect to San Antonio. It's just that boy John Morant and company's home. But do I see them beating the Lakers or Golden State? Now, we always say Golden State going to be 7th seed. I don't see them beating the Lakers. If they beat the Lakers without AD and Bron, I can see that being impossible. But AD and Bron coming back, trying to make a run in the playoffs, I see them beating Memphis.
Okay.
Now,
see, for me, Memphis is one of my favorite was one of my favorite teams anyway. You know, back in the day when they had Gasol, Randolph, Tony Allen, Mike Conley. Shout out to Mike Conley. You know, he over there in Utah. You know, Rudy Gay was over there when the grindhouse. You know, guys like that.
Used to be a good series against OKC. I remember them days.
Good days, great times. I believe Memphis can possibly do it, only because I think Memphis will take that 8th spot. I mean, they'll get that 9th spot, but they'll have a hard time going against even if it's either Golden State or the Lakers. Memphis is gonna have a hard time either way. Either the Spurs is too, because like I said before, you have a hot Steph Curry, and you have a Golden State team that's finally playing together at the right time. And you know, so either or, it's still a dangerous game for either the Spurs or Memphis going against either one of those teams, because even if the Lakers only have AD, they could still possibly pop the Spurs on Memphis or Golden State. Could either pop them, but that game, I want to see. It's possibly going to be Memphis versus Lakers again. It's going to be Lakers. Lakers going to get that 8th spot if they lose these next few games coming up that they have. And Golden State going to play your boys, Phoenix. Now, for the East, now, you know, I'm going to get to my boys. You know, I'm highly disappointed in my team. You know,
Jaylen Brown out for the season.
You know, Jaylen Brown, you know, out for the year. But that whole season, Boston season, it's just been a whole up and down season, mainly a bunch of down, because guys was getting hurt, guys was getting COVID. You know, we getting blown out by teams we supposed to be beating. You know, losing games we're supposed to be winning. But, you know, you can't win every game. But it's just the principle of the fact that we're losing games and getting blown out at the same time. And then 1 minute we go on a 8-game winning streak. I think 5, 6 game 8 we get winning streak. Then we lose. After that, up and down. Just lost 3 in a row. Just lost to Cleveland other night. So, but I got the feeling we'll take that 7th spot. No disrespect to Charlotte. I just think come playoff time, Boston gonna get in there. You know, Brad Stevens always got a trick up his sleeve. And then in the playoffs, we play differently in the playoffs. You know, we've been to the Eastern Conference Finals like in the last 4 years, except the Toronto year. We know when Toronto won the championship, Boston has been to the Eastern Conference Finals, play against Cleveland, Miami last year. You know, Boston is always there in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we just can't get over that hump in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm not too worried about us. I got us going to the 7th spot. But the Indiana-Washington series, I got Washington pulling that off, and I got Washington getting the 8th spot over Charlotte, just because of the fact that, you know, Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double, the king, the god of triple-double, Mr. Triple-Double himself, he's hooping, you know, and shout out to Westbrook. You know, he just broke the record, Oscar Robertson record, something that was highly impossible, that no one would ever thought right now that would happen, that would break. And he's been on a rampage. They won majority of the games, all of the last few games. You know, they won double-digit games when he's averaging a triple-double. And they're coming together. Everybody's coming to get healthy on Washington. I'm not disregarding Indiana. You know, I'm not disregarding Sabonis. Christopher and all, excuse me, and all those guys over there. But I just feel that Washington will take that ninth spot. And I got Washington will pop Charlotte just because the fact that, yes, Russell Westbrook does get eliminated in the first round, but Russell Westbrook plays hard when it comes to the playoffs. And then when they play Philly, he going to have a test because, Ben Simmons is going to be guarding him. And then, that's when we're going to see the real Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, he has been in the playoffs since a couple years from now. But Westbrook is a different beast in the playoffs. So, that's what I would predict will happen. Boston against Brooklyn. That's a great matchup right there if everybody was healthy. Boston just got Campbell Walker and JT. Right now, Jaylen Brown is missing. That's another 25 points right there that we could have had versus a Brooklyn team that got that three-headed monster if all of them healthy. Kyrie, KD, a 7-foot point guard, and James Harden. I mean, not to mention
that last night. So
yeah. So I mean, I got us losing that series anyway in 6 games, possibly 5, maybe 4. Just because the fact that Brooklyn got a chip on their shoulder, like everybody got pretty much everybody watching them, but everybody sleeping on Philly because they think Doc Rivers over there changed the system in Philly and not Philly number 1 seed. So I don't know, but shout out to your Atlanta boys though. You still Atlanta Hawk fan. Obviously your background got Atlanta back there. Shout out to your Atlanta Hawks. They ain't been in the playoffs in years, but the team that I'm just keeping it 100 with you, dog.
They ain't been in the playoffs since.
My point is that
2 or 3 years. You
got to think about that. But the team though that we ain't really talking about in the East right now, it's them boys across the bridge in New York. The Knicks, man.
They played against them.
The Knicks playing against the Bucks first round, and
interesting.
That's gonna be an interesting series. Go ahead though.
My opinion is we got all these nice teams. The play-in tournament should never happen. Should have been just one debate. But if it's my prediction, I think because Charlotte is a test, they have a young talent core there too.
Yes.
I would say if JB was playing, I would say Boston would win. But I'm going to say Charlotte's going to take that 7th seed. And they play against Brooklyn. And I think Brooklyn going to beat the pins off Charlotte. But it could be a tough test too because Charlotte ain't no punk. And between the 9th and the 10th seed, I want to give it to Westbrook. But the boys in Indiana playing for a spot too. And they got Sabonis, LeVert. Can't forget about Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon, my bad. Oh, I keep forgetting that name hard. Got Miles Turner as well. So you can't forget about them boys in Indiana. You really can't. Really can't. So I would say Indiana will play against Boston. Oof. Boston, Indiana. Oof. I'll give it to Indy. Give it to Indy.
So Boston,
but if Boston do beat Indy, I'll give Boston. It's hard. I want to give Boston a playoff spot, but they've been losing. They've been losing hard, and it shows. Like they bench ain't popping.
Yeah, I agree.
You want the next man up. You don't know who the next man up gonna be. You can't even say who's gonna be the next man up. Who gonna face JB? Nobody. Really can't because we don't know half of the roster. I can't even name no bench player.
On what team?
On your team.
Oh, I can name everybody.
Except for Tristan Thompson. Well, he ain't no bench player.
I can name the whole bench for you. The whole bench. You got Naismith, Presta from Oregon, Taco, Tristan Thompson.
Come on now, you know they don't use Taco like that.
Nah, I know we don't, but hey, I'll name the guys on that bench. We got Evan Fournier,
Okoye, something.
Evan Fournier on that bench.
You got that light skinned dude. What's
Grant
his name?
Williams.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Him. Sammy Ojale. Get my boy name right. Robert Williams. If he start, I think he's starting now. Robert Williams.
Yeah. I mean, if they beat Indiana, that's good. They're gonna play against Philly. They're gonna lose. But if we're looking at the whole roster filled out for the playoffs, we're not gonna give our playoff predictions. If I get our playoff prediction, that's gonna be another story for another day.
Yes, sir.
But I'm rooting for my boys Atlanta. You know, they play against Jimmy Butler and company. And that's gonna be a very, 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 very exciting series to me. Because if we get our healthy team, they're gonna be in trouble. They just lost on the depot. But let's be for real. I saw this coming a mile away. But hope my boy Victor get well, man. He's been through a lot this year. But yeah, you can't forget about them boys across the pond, the Knicks too. They've been doing a wonderful job. Tom Thibodeau has done a fabulous job at coaching. And he's gotten Derrick Rose, that veteran leadership. Who else is doing a good job? Julius Randle doing a perfect job. Perfect job. Shout out to RJ Barrett too. He's doing a good job at his position as well.
Well,
he has his games, but he's come through.
I give you that one.
They beat the Clippers, man. They beat the Clippers.
That was Randle and Rose.
Barrett too in Clippers. What?
That was Randle and Rose. You tagged me in this. You put it on Facebook. Randle did something to Paul George. Knicks in 5.
He crossed that boy up. Knicks in 5.
You talking about Knicks in 5 against who? Not the Milwaukee team.
I'm gonna say Hawks in 5 too, because what Trae Young did last night, that assist was beautiful.
Yeah.
Tony Snell was wide open. Tony Snell. What is he doing?
That's a name you ain't heard in a minute.
I ain't heard that name in a minute. I ain't hear Cameron Payne name in a minute neither until I seen him on the Suns.
He over there sitting there dancing still in the booth.
But we just letting y'all know our prediction for the plan. We're gonna move on to the next topic, which is the National Football League.
You already know, man. NFL, man.
We gotta give a shout out to the fabulous Bears organization for that trading to get that boy Mr. Justin Fields from Ohio State.
Yes,
that was a very, very, very perfect pick in my eyes, because now we have 3 quarterbacks, but you have to dump one, trade them away. You gotta trade Nick Foles. I'm sorry.
Well,
but Nick Foles has a lot of money, so it's going to be hard to trade Nick Foles.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you can keep the 3 quarterbacks. But as we know now, the Bears are saying that Justin Fields, with this pick, they're saying that Justin Fields is their guy. No disrespect to Mr. Trubisky. He did what he had to do. But it wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. We, the people of Chicago, are tired of having a playoff caliber team and not going nowhere. You can see the development that the Patriots went through when they lost Tom Brady. And look what they did in the offseason. Got hella signings. And that team gonna be something. If Cam get his game right, Mac Jones is not starting. We know Mac Jones is not starting yet. He's too young.
Clearly. So we'll talk about that in a second.
That's still Cam.
Clearly.
But that's another story for another day. But the story here is that I like what Brian Pace did. He went out and got him a quarterback. Now, we all talking about racism and stuff. But we know this is the first time the Bears ever drafted a black quarterback. We have never seen a black starting quarterback for the Bears. You want to talk about Jason Campbell, that's a different story.
He wasn't starting.
But he wasn't starting. He was just a backup, but he came in. But anyway, I have to say that was a good pick. Everybody in Chicago got hyped because this boy Justin Fields says he's ready to rock and roll. And we like that. But we would not like to see Andy Dalton start at the beginning of the season. Anything but Andy Dalton. I mean, I used to love Andy Dalton back when he was playing for the Bengals. But come on, man. I see what you did for Dallas. You didn't do it much. You didn't do a good job. That's what Dallas
tried, man.
You tried. But we know the NFC East is trash. Trash.
We ain't gonna get to the NFC East right now.
But that was a good pick. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm happy for Justin Fields. We'll see what the season will progress, because that first game they got is against the LA Rams, and oh boy,
that's a tough one.
But watch out for Aaron Donald, big 99. It's a big fella,
AD, boy. Yes, sir.
And Jalen Ramsey talkative butt too.
Yeah, we're gonna watch. They gonna watch out for. But for me, when I seen this pick, I think I was out eating dinner for my anniversary. With the wife. But
shout out to the anniversary.
You know what I'm saying? And I think who called me? My brother called me. He a diehard Bears fan as well. He called me from Indiana. He like, bro, we finna win the Super Bowl. I'm like, what happened? He always telling me that, the Bears won a Super Bowl. I'm like, what just happened now? He said, we just drafted Justin Fields. We got a black quarterback, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, oh my God, here you go. So
everybody was happy.
Yeah, hey man, listen, we both Chicago natives. I cheer for Chicago Bears because I'm a Chicago native, but I'm a diehard Patriots fan at heart. But that pick alone, people saying he might win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now that's tough. That's tough. That's a tough pick, only because first off, you have to see
we don't have an offense. Okay, I can see him winning Offensive Player of the Year, but we have to have a fully offensive playbook around him. We just have Matt Nagy calling the calls. Now, we see what Matt Nagy did with Mitchell Trubisky. He has to find that same spark that he found with Trubisky in the second year of Trubisky when he came in for his first year as coach. That's what we want to see. If he could do that with Justin Fields, he could probably win with you. But we know Matt Nagy play calling has not been up to par as of late. Well, he gave that offensive plays a couple of times to another coordinator, and that didn't work out. So we have to see that from a standpoint as well.
Well, like I said, I like Justin Fields. He beat my boys, Clemson, to get to the championship, but Alabama was no joke. Shout out to Mac Jones, that boy played for the Pats. Smith, Vontae, he played for Philly. We're gonna talk about them too. Philly got that two-headed monster, and my boy, Jalen Hurts and Smith, boy, that's gonna be dangerous if they work together. They get a nice O-line. That's gonna be dangerous. Them boys back together. You starting to see that now in the NFL. A lot of players, a lot of guys being back with their quarterback that they played with, either for like a year or 2 years. Trevor Lawrence, Sunshine as they call him. He got one of his receivers back. Philadelphia, like I said, Jalen Hurts got his receivers.
Tua got one of his receivers down.
Tua got one of his receivers. What's his name? Joe Burrow's got one of his guys from LSU.
Yeah.
So it's like you starting to see guys, players, athletes with their former quarterback or receiver or whatever running back, and you see that, and so it's like that core, that connection is already built there. It just got to work in NFL, and it's going to be a great season. It's going to be a tough season, especially in the NFC North with the Bears, and with Rodgers' situation. We're going to talk about that in a second, but this new NFL season, week 1, Dallas Cowboys versus the defending champs, Tom Brady and the boys. It's going to be a tough game. Week 1, I'm going to explain to you guys now, for those who don't know, week 1 games go as follows. Starting September 9th, Thursday Night Football, under the lights. You got the Buccaneers you got the Cowboys going to Tampa Bay, as they call it, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady's house, and the Bucks. Then you got, Trevor Lawrence first game against the Houston Texans. Don't know if Deshaun Watson will be their quarterback at the time. Dealing with a lot of situations right now.
Tyrod Taylor play that starting quarterback job.
Yeah, hopefully his lungs okay. What the doctors did to him in the Chargers, but we're gonna be all right. Speaking of the Chargers, they play the Washington football team. I like that defensive core in Washington. With my boy Chase Young over there. Then your boy Seattle, the Seahawks go against, Carson Wentz and the Colts, and then the Jets versus the Panthers.
That's a revenge game. That's a revenge game because you got Sam Donald.
Yeah, Sam Donald over there in the Panthers. Sam Donald, honestly, Sam Donald might go for 5 touchdowns. Maybe 4. That's just early prediction. Then you got the Vikings versus the Bengals. That's a great game right there.
Browns versus the Chiefs is what I'm interested in.
That game rematch of the playoffs, that's going to be nice. Browns at
fully
the
healthy
Chiefs.
Odell. Ooh.
A fully healthy.
Is they defense last there? Ooh.
A fully healthy Browns team.
Ooh.
That Browns team, that's a tough team.
That D-line gonna be tough.
I agree with you, bro.
With the additions that they got in the draft, that D-line is gonna be tough, bro. The Browns might got something this year. They might got something this year.
If they stay healthy, yes, I give you. I'll give you that. If the Browns stay healthy, Odell stay healthy. I know he's coming off an ACL injury. You know, that's hard to come back from, especially as a receiver, because you're doing a lot of jumping, a lot of cuts and turns and all that as a receiver. So hopefully Odell can come back to be himself and be back to that elite receiver that we already know he is to be. Jarvis Landry, his dancing buddy. But that's the game I want to see that Sunday, that following Sunday. I want to watch that Browns game, Chiefs game. Hopefully it'll be on TV. Then you got the Packers versus Saints. Shout out to Drew Brees on an amazing career, retired. We might see your boy Winston out there.
I did he gonna go with Taysom.
They probably would, but give it time. Like you said, the Bears versus the Rams. That's going to be a tough game. It's a bunch of great games. The Cardinals versus the Titans. That's a great game. Speaking of the Cardinals, man, Arizona, man, that receiver core, and that backfield is dangerous by itself. Like, it's so dangerous.
The NFC West is strong. The NFC West is strong this year. Make no doubt about it. Make no doubt about it.
Another game to be looking out for week 1 is the Steelers versus the Bills. Everybody's coming back healthy. That's going to be a great game to watch.
See, my Falcons play the Eagles.
Falcons, yeah. We ain't going to talk about them Falcons.
Get them boy Kyle Pitts. Boy, Kyle Pitts is a monster.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts.
Him and Hayden Hurts at the 2 TE. Ooh.
That's Kyle Pitts is a monster. But speaking of like the Packers, and now we're gonna jump gears on a situation that's been going on all now after while the draft was going on. A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers, Mr. State Farm himself. Where he's gonna end up, man. You talked about this before. And I'm gonna let you get your take on it in 2 seconds. It's just the situation, if for those who don't know who tuning into us, those who don't know about the situation, obviously the organization didn't go talk to A-Rod about drafting a quarterback a couple years ago. They drafted a quarterback, but the Packers needed defense and another receiver to help Devontae Adams out. And they drafted a quarterback and the offensive lineman, I believe. And it didn't that didn't help out Aaron Rodgers not one bit. And the new coaching staff wasn't working at the time. And so now, and I'm gonna let you get to it. The situation that was going on pre-draft that just happened with Aaron Rodgers saying he want out of the Packers organization. So Red, give your take on that situation.
Well, from my point of view, it all started last year. Some people's was released. And, my point of view is when they drafted Jordan Love, I think that's what started it. Because
that was a couple years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago because they drafted him, and they're trying to replace him. Remember?
Yeah. And that led a bad taste in Aaron Rodgers' mouth. From my perspective, if y'all draft a rookie quarterback and I'm still the guy that's been doing everything since day one, I bought a Super Bowl championship in what year? Was that 2012 or 2010? I think
2012?
I think it was 2012.
2012 or 2010, one of the two.
Either one.
Either one, he bought a championship to the team.
Yeah, he bought a championship to the team. And the man been loyal ever since. All the man asked for is some good offensive players. Now, here's my thing, because they had a trade deadline last year. Mm-hmm. And there was talks about them getting Will Fuller from Houston. And Houston was going to do that trade, but the Packers never offered more than what Houston wanted. And the Packers was just like frozen, like they didn't make no moves. And I'm sitting here like, okay, you got Devontae Adams. Yeah. what's the old boy at running back? I forgot. What you good at running back? I forgot. Let me look.
But
Adam Jones, I think. Yeah, Adam Jones.
Yeah,
Adam Jones. You got Adam Jones. You got some good wide receivers. You got St. Brown. You got what's the old boy name? Hey, receivers. This Lazard. You got Lazard too. But it's just like in my head, you gotta have another wide receiver. In my head, I'm like, why didn't they make the move to get Will Fuller?
Ooh.
And I was just like, the man wanted out of Houston like everybody else. And Houston was going to trade him. But I'm just like, if I'm Aaron Rodgers and I want to make a run to Super Bowl, why my organization that I trust in, that I was drafted to, why y'all didn't make that move? I need help. I just can't keep throwing it to Devontae Adams and everybody's going to be coming after him. I have to have other options. And I get why he's upset. He's been there long as hell. And he was close last year, but he's been to NFC Championship, twice in his 2 years for now. He had the 49ers the year before that. And he had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. Oh my God. Have you been there twice? And you still can't get through? And you need help on that offense. The defense is doing their job. We ain't worried about the defense. It's the offense. And don't get me wrong. The Green Bay Packers, everybody don't like the Green Bay Packers. Bears fans can't stand the Green Bay Packers. But it's just like Matt LaFleur, he drafted a wide receiver. Right. But still, I would like a wide receiver that is known to make moves. You feel me? Now, will I think they trade Aaron Rodgers before the regular season start? Right. Maybe not. But I think they will. But they know if they do, they gotta have a backup plan. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think they want to pull the trigger real quick. I think they're gonna do a sneaky move. I can't say when or well, but if they do, they do. But on this Green Bay Packers situation, man, to me, I'm just thinking in my head like, y'all let y'all franchise quarterback go. Trade him to God knows well, to a team that needs a quarterback to make him happy. And y'all left with nothing. That's y'all fault. Y'all can either get help or you let the help go.
Well, I like A-Rod, and the situation she's going through is kind of upsetting as a football fan. Even if you he in a division with the Bears, and even as Bears fans, they don't like Green Bay. We don't like Green Bay.
Bears fans was waiting on him.
People predicting that he might come to Chicago. And Aaron Rodgers said he loved playing in the Soldier Field anyway. He played better in Soldier Field, so hey, that could potentially happen. But it's just the fact that he going through what Tom Brady went through in New England. Tom Brady was asking for some extra receivers because he's seen Edelman getting hurt. He got some young guys as receiver that they was too young at the time. And he wanted some some seasonal guys, like some veterans over there that can help him. But obviously, you see what happened. They didn't want to get him the help. That he leaves. Brady left, went to Tampa Bay, and obviously his first year with Tampa Bay, he won a Super Bowl. Got 7 of them joints now. And with Rodgers, like you told me before, you say he might be going to the Raiders. That'll be a nice pickup. But the AFC still tough though. Going to the Raiders, AFC still tough. No matter how many teams you say, AFC is still tough. You got the Chiefs, you still got the Patriots. They still one of the most feared teams in the league. And, just because last year they had a bad year don't mean nothing. They still one of the most feared. You got the upcoming Bills, still got the Steelers. And then, like you said, like we talked about earlier on the show, got the Browns.
You got the Ravens, too.
And the Ravens. So it's like you got the Browns coming up their way. They getting everybody back healthy. As you can see, Myles Garrett is in the gym going crazy, staying strong. He think he a basketball player now because he dunking, blocking shots. He is a freaking nature athlete. But for Rodgers, who knows where he's might go? He might be in the 49ers uniform next season. That's what I've been seeing and hearing, but I don't know. That's just me. But, hopefully it works out for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he might sit out this year for Green Bay and let break Blake Bortles. And they picked up Blake Bortles too. So who knows? But, that's just my opinion on Zach. But, yeah, it's going to be tough. But, speaking of tough, brother, the games that everybody predicting to watch is week 4 of the reunion. Brady goes back home. Now, man, you have our differences with Brady. I'm a diehard Brady fan. Brady did your boys dirty in the Super Bowl, 28-3. But that game, to me, I'm cheering for Brady, but I'm also cheering for the Patriots because I'm a Patriots fan, diehard. I love Cam Newton no matter what. And, it's going to be a great game. I think Brady going to pull it out just to rub it in Bill Belichick's face. Like, this is what happens when you get rid of the blueprint of this team. Like, I'm the glue that, stick us together. I won the 6 championships with, I helped win the 6 championships that I got for this organization. I gave y'all 20 years, and this is how y'all repay me. So I think the Buccaneers are going to win that game because, like I said, it's Brady house, and it's going to be packed. I read a report earlier. The cheapest ticket, bro, is $1,400. Now, that's like a ticket for like a Beyonce concert or something, or the Super Bowl or something.
And you ain't lying. The lowest ticket is right. I'm looking right now. It's $1,165.
Come on now. That's just a regular season game, brother. That's not a playoff game, Super Bowl, divisional. That's a regular season game. Your cheapest ticket is almost $1,400. Now it might be lower, but you telling me I gotta give my rent to watch these boys play? I'll watch it on TV.
That's a lie.
I'll watch it on TV. And it's a Sunday night football game. Channel 5 reporting live. Sunday night football under the lights in New England. Now, Cam got the edge on Brady because Cam beat Brady before with Carolina. Cam is 2-0 against Brady with Carolina, sadly. So, my boys stay healthy. Hey, man, that's a game to watch, man.
I'll say it'd be interesting. See how that New England crowd reacts to Tom Brady coming back. I think they'll cheer for him, because Brady's never did anything bad in New England except for leave. But times change. You gotta go where you gotta go. And not putting that off, but it's just like, to me, I think what everybody was expecting last year, they wasn't expecting Tom Brady to go to the Super Bowl. They didn't know what that Tampa Bay team was about. You just got to sit and wait and see how it rolls. And that's what Tampa Bay did. They sit and waited and rolled. Playoffs started rolling. Did I expect to see Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl so early? No.
I agree.
Shocked. Did I expect them to beat the pants off the Chiefs? No.
Woo.
But it's shocking. So we never know who we got as Tampa Bay team. I heard they re-signed all their players back, drafted some new players up in there. Mm-hmm. And that's how a franchise is supposed to roll, But yeah, to see this game cost over $1,000, that is too much money. You got a better chance of watching that at Buffalo Wild Wings or your local pubs or your auntie or your granny's house. You know what?
Your
or
own
in your
house.
man cave. Me, I will not be going to week.
Yes, sir.
I'll be here safely at my comfort home.
Mm-hmm. All right, now you're gonna be on your FanDuel.
Week 3? Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, now you're gonna be on your FanDuel draft.
I'll get Cam 2 winning TDs for $300. Thank you. Sunday night football games. I think we'll be attending one pretty soon though. We'll be attending one, probably in that Golden State. Because in week 3 we got Green Bay and San Francisco, and tickets as low as $150. So that's nice. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the last topic. Oh, I just had it in my head. What was that? What was that? I just had it. It got something to do with football. It was just on the tip of my tongue.
Football?
It wasn't with Brady. It was somebody else.
Come on, dog. How you gonna lose your train of thought like that?
I just had it.
It's that ice cream.
Brady, please. It got something to do with somebody.
Not Deshaun Watson, right?
Not Deshaun Watson. It was somebody else. Oh man. I just lost my train of thought. I never had
that ice cream. Toast up eating ice cream.
Man.
Toast up eating ice cream, dog.
It had something to do with somebody. Oh, thank you, Mr. Tebow. That was the last person we got. Yes, sir. That's the last person. I just thought about you. I'm looking at the Jaguars. I'm like, I know it's supposed to be about the Jaguars. So, in this last segment of ours, I think it's the last topic we're gonna talk about right here. But the last segment we talk about is, well, this is gonna be something new. We're gonna pick up the best headlines and the worst headlines. The worst headline this week coming up.
Talk to me.
It's Tim Tebow. Now, I'm not trashing Tim Tebow. I'm not putting no disrespect on Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is a how can I put this in a nice way?
Keep it 100. Keep it plain.
He's an average athlete. Average. Mr. Tebow did his thing back when he was playing for the Broncos, and we like to call what y'all like to call what I do in Madden fruit plays. Yes, I be doing fruit plays. I be tossing and running the ball like I don't know where it's going. That's how Tim Tebow does. He reminds me of me playing Madden when I struggle. I toss the ball, interception sometimes. Sometimes it'll be a TD, or it'll be luck plays. But Tim Tebow, if you don't know, is back in the NFL. But it's not an official contract. It's like one of them contracts that you do for training camps.
Right.
He is not playing quarterback this time, people. He is playing tight end. And y'all be like, why is he playing tight end? Who assigned this man that hasn't been in the NFL in a long time? That played in the minor leagues for the Mets and didn't do as well as people thought he would, and was good as an ESPN broadcaster for God's Game Day. Who in the hell gave Tim Tebow a contract? Well,
talk to me.
I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all know. This offseason, the Jaguars have a new coach, and Doug Marrone is gone. Packed his bags. Hello, Urban Meyer.
Hey.
Mr. Urban Meyer, if y'all don't know, he is a famous coach from Ohio State. Made that school popping. He made Florida popping too. That's where Tim Tebow was. So he coached Tim Tebow. And Urban Meyer likes to fiddle around with things. So Urban Meyer has a great strength-and-condition coach that will work with Tim Tebow for this position. And Tebow is third on the tight end list. Now, if I'm a player and I see this guy like coming in and trying to take my spot, he hasn't been in the NFL in a while. I'm gonna look at him as chopped liver. I'm gonna think of him as beef stroking. Because why is y'all signing Tim Tebow?
Exactly.
Y'all gave Tim Tebow a spot. Now the argument online that we've seen It's like, how come Tim Tebow gets to get back in the NFL, but Colin Kaepernick is not in the NFL?
Hey, hands up, dog.
Can't say nothing about this because I'm gonna sound biased, but
I understand.
This is our podcast, right? But I'm not gonna say nothing. Does it have something to do with racism? Can't say. I don't want to say. Because I'm only gonna say what I can say.
Speak your mind.
Tim Tebow only got signed to Jacksonville because of the coach. I'm not gonna say it was because of racism because it's not.
Okay.
If it was that, you'll be looking like, oh, it's let's say when you think of an old player that can get on the team, you'd be like, he ain't played football in a long time, and the team just signs. Oh, it's because of racism. It's because of Colin Kaepernick. No. Tim Tebow is on that team. He doesn't have an accurate contract. This contract is only for, preseason. And to say that at least Urban Meyer gave him a shot. Urban Meyer wants to see Tim Tebow to work as a tight end. This is only just a tryout. So don't freak out. It's not a race problem. Sure, I'd love to see Colin Kaepernick in the NFL. Everybody loves to see Colin Kaepernick in the NFL. But we all know due to the circumstances why he's not in the NFL. We all know. We're not blind. We can see. I got 20/20 vision. So, but Tim Tebow, that's the worst news of the week to me.
Well, let me get my take on that real quick, though. No disrespect to Tim Tebow. I liked him in Florida. I liked him on the Buccaneers. I said Buccaneers. I liked him in Denver.
Don't forget he's in New Jersey. And then he played for your boys and try to steal Tom Brady's shot.
Yeah, hey man, he played for New England. He thought he was.
What Belichick say? I'm not going to answer that question.
I'm not going to answer
that question about Tim. That's the third.
But with Tim Tebow, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be thorough with you, dog. I ain't gonna hold my tongue back, but race don't play a role in it. I just think it's just controversial that Tim Tebow hasn't played football in over 9 years.
Yep.
And out of the blue, he wants to play tight end. A quarterback that want to play tight end. Now, don't get me wrong. There's guys that's in the league right now that play quarterback, that's receivers, running backs.
Perfect example is Logan Thomas. Tight end. He used to play quarterback, and he switched his position. There's a lot of people that used to play quarterback, play wide receiver, running back. You'd be surprised.
Judy Ellerman, before he retired, he was a quarterback in college, but he came in as a receiver in the NFL.
Tyson plays kicker.
Plays
special teams. He's a quarterback. He used to be a quarterback in college. There's teams out here. And I've seen one example of Tim Tebow when he played with the Jets. And he played like a running back or wide receiver position at one time. Did not catch the ball.
But,
did not catch the ball.
But
that was old.
That's old news. But now, out of the blue, with the answer of one phone call, his coach, Urban Meyer, is their old coach, from when he was at Florida. Cam Newton was at that team. A lot of people don't know Cam Newton was on that team with Urban Meyer too. That's when they was that boy. But wait, that's another conference for another day. But Tim Tebow was able to get his job so quick. Now, a lot of people might look at me like, well, Kaepernick situation different because Kaepernick was with the race movement, the flag. People think he still disrespect the military. But Tim Tebow got not a contract yet, but he got picked up by Jacksonville. Like you said, we don't know if he's going to officially be on the roster come training camp. We haven't seen him play tight end at all. So hopefully some footage come out, get leaked out of him being a tight end, maybe a spring, maybe the like the 707s in the summer. Maybe we get to see that before the season starts. He look as a tight end because that's a big position because you got to do a lot of blocking. You mainly do a lot of blocking as a tight end. And he played baseball. He tried to play baseball. It didn't work out. But, hey, that's how I feel about it, man. It's not a race thing, but we all know what's going on in this situation. So it is what it is at this point. Congratulations to him. He got picked up in the NFL like that. So hey, that's just my take on Tim Tebow. I ain't got no beef with him, but it's just still kind of funny that he's on the roster and Kaepernick is not on the roster as a quarterback, even the backup quarterback for any team that need a backup quarterback. That's desperate in need for a backup quarterback.
No bad against Tim Tebow. It's just you came out of the blue, and now you're on one of the teams that's uprising, and that really needs attention. But anyway, that's the worst news of this segment. The best news. Oh yeah, we're getting into it. Yeah. So we're going to boxing. Last topic of this podcast. Over the weekend, we had Canelo pull out a KO victory.
GKO.
Shout out to Canelo. But good news. We have 2 fights to look out for this year, people. And what can I say? Mayweather is back, people. Mayweather is back. June 6th, he is taking on Jake Paul. Everybody.
I thought it was Logan.
No, he's playing Jake.
Whichever one.
Logan made it. Jake or Logan Paul. It's Jake Paul.
But still, he's taking on one of the Paul brothers.
No, Jake. What's his name? Oh, no, it's Logan. You're right. It's Logan. Okay, he's fighting Logan Paul. Boo hoo hoo hoo.
That segment was hilarious.
The man took Mayweather hat.
Got your hat.
Mayweather came after his head like you stole something. Yeah, you stole his hat. You try to make an example of him, and now you got security on you. Ooh.
Man.
You fear for your life? You fear for your life?
You see, now he's getting a taste of what a real fighter looks like. None to knock all the people that Logan fought, but I mean, you got a guy like Mayweather.
No, Jake fought. Logan only fought one person.
Yeah, Jake fought people. Logan only fought one person, but you got a professional, undefeated boxer, Mayweather, going against an amateur fighter, a YouTube fighter, and Mayweather is going to toy with him. Mayweather probably knock him out in the first round, but Mayweather got to make it interesting, like all his fights is. I'm gonna drag this fight on, and then I'm gonna let you tire yourself out. That's how Mayweather's going to beat him badly. I seen a video of him bleeding through his mouth like his tooth got messed up because one of the security guards got to him.
To me, I think Mayweather's in this for the money, and it's a big payday. Don't get me wrong.
And meal,
because Mayweather wouldn't take the fight if it wasn't a big payday.
But
to me, I don't even think Mayweather's going to train for this fight. There's no point. I mean, he didn't even train for McGregor's fight. He said it plain and simple. I didn't train him for the McGregor fight because he's not a boxer. You would think Mayweather's really going to train for Logan Paul?
Not that much training.
No, not that much. Probably just some little cardio, some little runs.
Things to get back in shape. He already in shape.
I would like to see Mayweather get a haircut, though.
He probably will. He'll probably go back to the ball, Mayweather.
The man look like Caesar.
That boy look like he look like a little Caesar.
That man look like Caesar. Caesar. Yeah, but I think Mayweather's gonna win this fight. It's nothing. I heard Otto Cinco is gonna be on this card too, so watch out for that. Please, whoever Otto is fighting, please, Otto win. We don't want to see another brother lose to the delegation. Like our fallen soldier Nate, but he had heart. But in other news, Canelo won.
Yeah.
But we got a mega fight in August. We have a mega fight in August. Now, for those of you who don't know, we have 2 undisputed heavyweight champions of the world right now. From across the pond, you have Anthony Joshua. And from also across the pond, you also have Tyson Fury.
Yes, sir.
And as we all know, Fury beat Wilder. Bronze.
Controversial fight, but we're going to leave that alone.
You really want to say that's controversial?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it loud and proud. Controversial fight. The only reason I say it was controversial, you look at the videos. My man punched my man with bare knuckles, but we're gonna leave that alone.
And Joshua, he coming off he beat Ruiz, so he been has a title. He coming off another fight. I don't know who he fought, but he beat him too. So we have the main fight, which I would love to see Joshua versus Wilder, but we got Joshua versus Fury.
My boy training right now. My boy training to get back in the gym.
Which I think is going to be a very, very eye opener. You know, I also want to see Crawford versus Errol
Crawford. Hey, that's our boy.
But you know that's gonna be a long time in the making. But this fight is set for August in Saudi Arabia, and man, I think this fight is gonna be big for
Saudi Arabia.
I think this fight is gonna be very big for boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's either gonna happen August 7th or August 14th, but I think this fight is gonna be very big for boxing. And my pick, I think I'm gonna pick Joshua. You know, I always like Joshua. Joshua is hardworking. You know, he doesn't showboat anything. He's confident. And I think Tyson Fury is a very confident fighter too. But man, this fight is gonna bring in some heavy money. And well, I think it's gonna bring in some people who ain't never seen boxing, who's been in and out of the boxing game and been waiting for something to pop off. You know, we got the Mayweather and Logan Paul fight, but I would like to see Mayweather fight both brothers. But
he said that he'll fight both of them.
He'll fight both of them. I don't understand why Jake Paul don't want to get in the mix, but I would pay to see that. Mayweather beat both of them brothers. I'll pay to see that. I also pay for Canelo versus Glover 3, but that's gonna be tough too.
Another topic for another day.
But the Joshua and Fury fight, I think it opened doors for people who really was hoping for a mega fight. Like we only in my decade of seeing boxing, only seen one really mega fight, but they got old, and that was the Mayweather Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
And to me, that was long overdue. Now we got something that's not long overdue. That's getting to the grain and getting to the nitty gritty. Can we see other fights like this?
Possibly.
I'm hoping for a Spencer Crawford fight. I need
that Spencer Crawford.
I want that fight.
I need that fight. Yeah, yes, sir.
I need a Pacquiao Canelo fight. I need something. I need a
Tank. I don't know. Pacquiao getting out there.
I need a Tank Canelo fight. Something. You need something.
I need my boy Wilder back in the gym, back in the boxing ring.
I love to see Wilder after Joshua or Fury again. I would love to see it. Or we can have Wilder versus Ruiz. We can see something. Let's see something. Because boxing, I think boxing can take back the world of sports. Because right now, I think basketball and football are dominating the game. Baseball is coming back too. Hockey would be hockey. You know, FIFA gonna be FIFA. So, you know, I think this opened doors for a lot of super fights being made. What do you think?
Yeah, I can't wait to see them fights coming up later in the year. So yeah. Any more topics we gotta talk about, brother?
I don't know. I'm sure we don't have pretty more topics to talk about next week.
Well, to our fans out. I'll go ahead, dog.
As you know, I'm Red. You know.
Y'all know me. We outside, Mr. Forbes, man. We'll be back next week. Some more hot takes, hot topics, the best topics, the worst headlines, the best headlines. Something new that we're doing. You know, we go back on the world. We're gonna have guests coming soon. You know, but like I said, thank y'all for tuning in with us. We back officially. The locker room talks. So having locker room stays in the locker room. We did. You know, like I said, I'm Forbes, my boy Red, and we out.